Joining us now from the site of tonight's VP debate, Chief Strategist and Communications Director of the RNC, Sean Spicer. Sean, thanks for being with us. Let's try and get a taste of what the state of play will be tonight. There's a new ad out going at Tim Kaine specifically, well-timed to tonight's debate. Let's take a little look at it, and then we'll discuss its implication.
Percy Walton brutally murdered 3 people. As governor, Tim Kaine commuted his sentence, citing concerns disproved by the courts. Jens Soren and his girlfriend murdered Derek and Nancy Haysom, stabbing them to death in their home. On his last day as governor, Tim Kaine tried to have Soren sent to Germany, where parole would have been possible in just 2 years.
This ad is being likened to Willie Horton ads from back in the day, although you did have some white defendants who were at play as well. What's the point of this ad? What's the attack angle?
Well, first of all, anyone who compares it to Willie Horton is either hasn't seen the ad or doesn't understand history. As you pointed out, the folks in the ad are all 3 of the 4 are white. So this just goes back to Tim Kaine's record. I mean, there are rapists and murderers that he defended, keep out of prison, that have done horrible things. I think part of this is Tim Kaine had previously said that someone should be judged by the totality of their record. This is the Tim Kaine part of the record that they don't want to discuss. His defense of people who went out and murdered and raped people in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
But he was a lawyer, Sean. That's what a lawyer does, is defend people's rights.
No. But I think everybody makes choices in their career as to what they do and what they don't do. He wants to talk about his record. He should be judged on the totality of his record.
But no, Sean, I just want to understand the criticism.
I
just want to understand the criticism. We both agree, of course, you have the right to do whatever you want to do. You get judged for your choices. So are you saying that people who commit crimes and are facing the death penalty shouldn't have lawyers?
No, of course they do. There's a constitutional right. But there's a difference between advocate. He went out and advocated and talked about and tried to get them off the hook for certain things. That's
because he doesn't believe in the death penalty.
He chose to go do.
Because he's a Catholic and has a moral opposition to the death penalty, and as an advocate of the law, he went out there and argued that. I don't understand how it's a criticism.
He made a choice to go out and defend. It's not just about the death penalty, Chris. It's about making sure that they serve the least amount of time possible. That's a big difference. And I think, it's amazing how quick everyone runs to Tim Kaine's defense. The fact of the matter is that his record should be looked at in its totality. He went out and defended people who committed heinous crimes, and he sought to get the lowest penalty for them. That's fine. He chose to do that, but he should be judged for it as well. That's part of his record.
All right,
that's
it's certainly,
They want to whitewash his record and only talk about certain things.
It's certainly fair play. That's what politicians do. They play up what they think will be their positives, downplay their negatives. I'm just trying to get your head on where this attack goes, this ad, and then there's also this one that you guys are circulating around about him spending time with this Marxist when he was down in South America. It was a priest. He was on mission, and he was spending time with this Catholic priest you guys are defining as a Marxist. I guess all priests are Marxists in some way, I guess, if you wanted to say that. But what's the point of that criticism?
Again, I think part of this is to talk about his ideology and his record. Tim Kaine wants to whitewash what, just look at the last few years, and he doesn't want to talk about its totality. He doesn't want to talk about the fact that when he was governor of Virginia, unemployment went up, taxes went up. There's a huge contrast, and I think part of the problem is that the Clinton-Kaine machine only wants to talk about pieces of their record. They should be judged on the totality of it, the people that they hung out with, the choices that they made, and the people that they defended. But let's look at it all, and that's the point here.
Absolutely. That's your job, my friend, is that you want to expose what you see as avenues of opportunity. How do you feel tonight it goes between Kaine and Mike Pence? Kaine is going to come at Pence for his conservatism on a cultural level, his resistance to rights for the LGBTQ community, his desire to try to keep out Syrian refugees out of Indiana. A court just telling him he can't do that. Conservative judges, by the way. Do you think that will find its way into the debate?
I think Tim Kaine is going to try to do everything he can to distract and distort from the real record. The fact is a matter of what I just mentioned. I mean, look, when Tim Kaine was governor, taxes went up, unemployment went up. When Mike Pence has been governor of Indiana, unemployment's gone down, taxes have gone down. I think you're going to see a huge contrast in their records and a huge contrast in the tone. I mean, Mike Pence and Donald Trump are talking about bringing change to Washington, ending the status quo and business as usual. Tim Kaine and Hillary Clinton are literally the epitome of the establishment and status quo. If you're happy with Washington, the way things are going, with a government that's unresponsive, I think then you should vote for Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine. They are literally they tout their experience, time in government, the establishment, and bureaucracy. That's what they're all about.
Sean,
if you're ready for change, I think you're going to continue to see the contrast tonight.
I just asked you about LGBTQ and what he did with the Syrian refugees that was rebuffed by the court, and you ignored it. Well played. You're doing what you said Tim Kaine wants to do, which is ignore the weak parts and focus on the strong parts.
No, you asked if Tim Kaine was going to attack, and if so, and I think he is. I
know. I was looking for your take on those issues. Let me ask you one final one.
When it comes to the Syrian, hold on.
Let
me answer the question.
Please,
on the Syrian refugee front, I think Mike Pence is going to talk about making sure that he did everything, and he continues to do everything as governor, to protect the people of Indiana. That's his job. And so while the courts may overturn it, that doesn't mean that Mike Pence didn't and will continue to do the right thing and look after the interest and the safety of every citizen of Indiana. Right. And frankly, the same kind of attitude that he'll bring as vice president, which is that no matter what a court says or no matter what, that doesn't mean that you don't fight for the right thing every time.
Right, except the court said he was fighting for the wrong things. Worth reading that decision. One last. On taxes with Trump, 57% of people polled are now concerned that Trump is hiding something, and that's why he won't release his taxes. Do you believe that he should now release his taxes as every other candidate has?
He's made it very clear that he's under audit, and as soon as the audit's over, he'll do it.
How about the audit letter? How about releasing the audit letter? Just one.
Well, then that's up to him. I'm not in a position to it's up to him, his counsel, and his accountants to decide what they can and can't release, not me.
Sean Spicer, well argued as always. Thanks for coming to us early in the morning. You're always welcome on New Day. Appreciate having you.